A cold wind moved through the valley outside Bergen, Norway. The landscape was quiet. Rocky hills stretched into the distance. Sparse trees clung to the terrain. It was the kind of place where few people ventured, especially as winter approached. On November 29, 1970, a father and his two daughters were hiking through an area known as Isdalen, Ice Valley. The valley already carried a reputation among locals. Over the years, it had become associated with accidents, suicides, and unexplained deaths. Some residents considered it cursed. Others simply avoided it. As the family walked along a rocky path, they noticed something unusual among the stones. At first, it appeared to be debris. Then they realized it was a human body. The discovery would launch one of the most enduring mysteries in European criminal history. More than half a century later, investigators still do not know who the woman was, where she came from, or how she died. She would become known simply as the Isdal Woman, and despite decades of investigation, she remains one of the world's most famous unidentified persons. This is the story of the Isdal Woman. The mystery begins long before her body was discovered. To understand why this case remains unsolved, it is necessary to return to Norway in 1970. The Cold War was at its height. Europe was divided between East and West. Intelligence agencies operated across borders. False identities were common tools for spies and criminals alike. Norway occupied a strategically important position in Northern Europe. As a NATO member bordering the Soviet sphere of influence, the country attracted attention from multiple intelligence services. Against this backdrop, a mysterious woman began appearing in hotels across Norway. She traveled alone. She rarely stayed in one place for long. She changed names frequently, and she left behind almost no trace of her real identity. No one knew it at the time, but her movements would later become one of the most puzzling aspects of the entire investigation. When authorities began reconstructing her final months, they discovered she had traveled extensively throughout Norway. Hotel records showed a pattern. The woman checked into hotels using different aliases. Each time she provided slightly different personal information. Sometimes she claimed to be Belgian. Sometimes she presented herself as coming from other European countries. She often spoke several languages. Witnesses reported hearing her speak German. Others believed she spoke French. Some thought they detected Dutch or Flemish accents. No one could determine her native language with certainty. Hotel employees later described her as elegant and well-dressed. She appeared to be in her 30s or 40s. She often wore fashionable clothing. She carried herself confidently. Yet there was something unusual about her behavior. Several witnesses recalled that she preferred isolated rooms. She avoided unnecessary conversation. She appeared cautious. In some hotels, staff noticed she watched people closely. She seemed alert to her surroundings, almost as though she did not want to be followed. At the time, these observations meant little. Only later would investigators view them differently. After her body was found in Isdalen, police launched an extensive investigation. The crime scene presented immediate questions. The woman's body was badly burned. Much of the upper body showed severe fire damage. Around her were several unusual items. Investigators found burned personal belongings. There were remnants of clothing, pieces of luggage-related material, a plastic bottle, and traces of fuel. The scene appeared carefully arranged, yet it did not provide a clear explanation for what had happened. An autopsy was ordered. The results deepened the mystery. Medical examiners discovered large quantities of sleeping pills in her system. Specifically, they identified barbiturates. The woman had consumed dozens of tablets before her death. Soot particles were also found in her lungs. This suggested she had been breathing while the fire was burning. In other words, she was alive when the flames reached her. The official cause of death was determined to be a combination of barbiturate poisoning and carbon monoxide inhalation, but that conclusion answered only part of the puzzle. The bigger question remained: who was she? Investigators searched her body for clues. There were none. No identification, no passport, no wallet containing useful information. Even stranger, labels had been removed from her clothing. Every identifying mark had been carefully cut away. This was highly unusual. People occasionally remove labels from garments, but removing every identifying label from multiple items suggested deliberate action. Police soon discovered another crucial clue. At Bergen railway station, they located luggage connected to the woman. Inside were items that transformed the investigation. The suitcases contained wigs, multiple pairs of glasses, maps, clothing, cosmetics, and notebooks. The notebooks proved especially important. Investigators realized they contained coded entries. The woman had recorded dates, locations, and symbols. At first, the notes appeared meaningless. Eventually, detectives deciphered them. The codes corresponded to her travels throughout Norway. The notebooks revealed a complex pattern of movement. She had traveled frequently. She had changed identities repeatedly, and she appeared determined to conceal her activities. Yet even after decoding the notebooks, police still did not know who she really was. The investigation expanded rapidly. Detectives traced her hotel stays. Witnesses were interviewed across the country. A detailed timeline began to emerge. The woman had stayed in numerous hotels during 1970. Each visit generated more questions. Staff often noticed her carrying different wigs. Some witnesses recalled seeing her alter her appearance. Others reported that she occasionally checked out unexpectedly. In several cases, she traveled under false names. Some aliases were linked to fictional addresses. Others appeared completely fabricated. Investigators soon faced a troubling possibility. Ordinary tourists do not usually maintain multiple identities. They do not typically remove labels from their clothing. They do not keep coded travel records. And they rarely travel with disguises. The behavior suggested something more complicated. Speculation quickly emerged. Was she involved in espionage? The theory gained attention because of the broader Cold War environment. Norway's military facilities were strategically significant. Some of the locations she visited were situated near sensitive areas. This led certain investigators to wonder whether she had connections to intelligence operations. However, evidence remained limited. No government ever acknowledged a connection. No intelligence files definitively linked her to espionage. The theory remained possible, but unproven. Meanwhile, forensic investigators attempted to establish her identity through traditional methods. They examined dental records. The woman's teeth showed extensive dental work. Experts believed some procedures may have been performed in continental Europe. This helped narrow possibilities, but it did not produce a name. Fingerprints were compared internationally. No match was found. Photographs circulated through police agencies. No confirmed identification emerged. The mystery deepened further when witnesses came forward with accounts of the woman's final days. Several individuals reported seeing her accompanied by unidentified men. One witness recalled observing her with a man near the time of her death. Another described suspicious interactions during her travels. These reports suggested she may not have been acting entirely alone. Yet none of the men were conclusively identified. The leads eventually faded. Years passed. The case remained open. The Isdal woman's body was buried in Norway. Authorities hoped someone would eventually recognize her. No one did. As the decades unfolded, the mystery became part of Norwegian folklore. Books were written, documentaries were produced, journalists revisited the evidence. Each generation examined the same questions. Who was she? Why was she traveling under false identities? And how did she end up dead in Isdalen? In the 21st century, advances in forensic science offered new possibilities. Investigators revisited preserved evidence. Modern techniques could reveal information unavailable in 1970. Among the most significant developments was isotope analysis. Scientists examined biological material associated with the woman. The results suggested she likely spent part of her childhood in Central Europe. This finding aligned with earlier suspicions based on language observations and dental work, but it still did not reveal her name. Researchers also analyzed historical records more extensively than ever before. International cooperation increased. Investigative journalists joined forensic experts in re-examining old leads. One of the most influential efforts emerged through collaborative investigations involving Norwegian media and international researchers. The renewed attention generated fresh public interest. People across Europe submitted tips. Possible identities were proposed. Some theories focused on espionage. Others suggested organized crime. Some believed she may have been involved in smuggling networks. Others argued she could have been fleeing a troubled past. Yet every theory encountered the same problem. There was insufficient evidence. The known facts remained remarkably limited. An unidentified woman traveled through Norway using multiple aliases. She possessed coded notebooks. She carried wigs and altered aspects of her appearance. Labels had been removed from her belongings. She died in Isdalen after ingesting large quantities of sleeping pills and being exposed to fire. Beyond those facts, certainty becomes difficult. The case continues to attract attention because it sits at the intersection of several mysteries. It is an unidentified person case. It is a suspicious death investigation, and it unfolds against the backdrop of Cold War Europe. Each element contributes to the enduring fascination surrounding the story. Even today, experts disagree about the most likely explanation. Some view the evidence as consistent with intelligence activity. Others argue that the available facts do not support such a conclusion. Some believe she may have chosen to disappear from her previous life. Others suspect she encountered dangerous individuals during her travels. The truth remains elusive. What makes the Isdal Woman case remarkable is not merely the mystery itself, it is the persistence of that mystery. Modern technology has solved countless historical cases. DNA analysis has restored identities once thought lost forever. Cold cases have been reopened and resolved after decades of uncertainty. Yet the Isdal Woman remains unidentified. Her real name is unknown. Her family has never been conclusively located. Her final purpose in Norway remains unclear. More than 50 years have passed since a family discovered a burned body in a remote Norwegian valley. Generations of investigators have studied the evidence. Forensic scientists have applied modern techniques. Journalists have retraced her movements. Researchers have searched archives across multiple countries. Still, crucial pieces are missing. Somewhere, perhaps in forgotten records, lost documents, or memories that vanished long ago, the answers may still exist. Until those answers emerge, the woman found in Isdalen remains suspended between history and mystery. Known around the world, yet unidentified. Studied for decades, yet still misunderstood. A traveler without a confirmed origin. A death without a definitive explanation, and one of the most compelling unsolved mysteries of the 20th century. The Isdal Woman entered Norway under a series of names. She left behind coded notes, unanswered questions, and a trail that investigators have followed for more than half a century. What she never left behind was the one thing detectives needed most: her true identity. And that absence continues to define the case. A mystery preserved in the cold landscape of Western Norway, waiting perhaps for one final piece of evidence to bring the story to an end.